Hi everyone and welcome to Whiskey Pilgrim, to another chapter called Blood Diamonds. Yeah, Blood Diamonds, yeah. And the reason to that is because of collecting. The good and the bad of it, basically. And as you see here, this is some bottles I have chosen just for this display. I will have more bottles in this video to talk about. And yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, let's get started, but okay, there's a lot of things here. So, let's go see if I can do some magic. Let's see here, if it works. Did it work? Let's try it again. Okay, where did they all go? Okay, apparently it worked. Yeah. Probably from a moment people are gonna... But yeah, I thought it was funny. Yeah, and so welcome to this chapter, the Blood Diamond chapter. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about this whole collecting thing, from my point of view, of course. And as you saw there, I'm gonna show you some that I've been collecting, and some things that could be collectible, maybe. As you start to journey into whiskey, you're just gonna realize it's a whole new world. Basically, you know, there's so much to choose from. It is crazy, because, you know, first thing first, it's not just Scotland that does whiskey, even though I still believe they are the best ones to do it still. But yeah, that's my opinion when it comes to whiskey, because they're not just the only one who does single malt, you know. And there's so many countries in the world popping up now with their own distilleries. It's really cool, I like it a lot. And I hope to see more YouTubers from those countries talking about their whiskies from their countries, of course. And as well, when you come to these, there's also different styles of whiskey, not just the Scottish single malts. There's also, like, let's take for example rye from America. There's a lot of other countries that do rye as well. That's very interesting as well. I mean, Sweden has done it now 2 times. Denmark does it. I know Finland does some kind of rye variation. I know India has done it, as well as what's it called? A Dutch distillery as well. Probably more distilleries in the world that also does rye. And also, sometimes independent bottlings can actually be a better representation of what that distillery can do and produce than the distillery itself. So yeah, just my opinion. It's not always the case, but it is a gambling when you do independent bottlings, but they can sometimes really show you the power of that distillery that you would never see from the distillery itself on their core-range bottlings or limited bottles. And that's also something I want to talk about. Just because the bottle looks really nice, doesn't always mean it's going to be a good whiskey. Yeah, I mean, and what I'm saying about this is, you know, sometimes this looks really great. It looks fabulous. The packaging is great. The story is even better, you know, as the packaging, of course, looks, you know, looks curious, you know. You look like you have a good wealth, basically, when you put it on your podium or your whiskey cabinet. But at the end of the day, you're not going to open it, because that whiskey was never meant to be drunk by anyone. It's basically going to sit collecting dust, auctioned for ridiculous prices in the future, or even, you know, it never was a good whiskey in it in the first place. But that's my opinion. Also, why buy a car if you're never going to drive it? So, why collecting and what you can collect and all that, you know. Basically, it could be for the love of a distillery. Basically, for the love of a distillery. I love Springbank. There are also sometimes, you know, those who buy from certain distilleries because you can make money out of it. I've been guilty of this myself, of course. Of course I have. I have not sold many bottles in my life, I can tell that already. I think I have sold at the most 4. One of them I never tried though. But I bought an Isla Festival edition of the Jazz Festival they have from Lagavulin 2016. I did sell it 1 year later to someone who was collecting it. I didn't put a ridiculous amount of money on it, but still, it helped finance, you know, other bottlings that I bought later on, and also a trip to Scotland as well. And I did that with another bottling had a Japanese whiskey. You know, so what can you collect then? Well, of course, distillery. A distillery you fall in love with, or just find very, very, very amusing to you, or just close to your heart. I have Springbank. I do collect some Deanston as well, and Ambrit. There are the 3 distillers I started out really liking, especially Ambrit was the first one, and Springbank, and then Deanston came along as well. And now I also fall in love with the Balcones, for example, and some other distillers I think I'm going to look more into, because I've been really, really amazed by what they're doing so far, like Edward Ben Romack, and Anok. So, yeah, and also Tobermory and Laphroaig as well. But yeah, you can have distillery. You can also have certain series from distilleries. And yeah, there can be anything. I mean, one example of a distillery I think does really cool looking bottles, and also heard they're supposed to be really good, is Aran. They have some really cool collectible things they did, and they weren't that, you know, limited in like 100 bottles. Something there was quite a few thousand bottles made, but still, if you put that on to the whole world and all everyone who drinks whiskey, it's still not enough. But you know, it was enough that some people could actually get, and it was really cool. All from the Smuggler series to the Devil's Punch, I think it was called, and now to the Artist series to do with the tin cans, but the tin bottling cans to do, like Broderick Bay and La Coron's Castle, I think it's called as well. Really cool looking bottles. You can collect in the bottles as well, because sometimes they have like a series either from whiskies, certain regions, or a theme as well, with sherry, bourbon, or unpeated whiskies from peated distilleries maybe. And also some collaborations with really cool artists, you know, designs and all that. I've seen some now with the new Godzilla movie, King of the Monsters. Not gonna talk about the movie itself, but I thought they were really cool labels, you know. But still, you know, it's supposed to can be in the content, but still, in a bottle, still, it's quite a cool thing if you have all those bottles, you know. There's also country-wise as well. I mean, you can also collect from certain countries. Certain countries are ridiculously collectible now, like Japan, basically. They're really, really collectible, and to the point where I actually have to say that it's become ridiculous. And I do have some bottles I'm going to show you soon. There's also vintages. Sometimes, you know, collect very old whiskies from the back in the days before, yeah, everything was so simpler, I guess, you know. And there can be people who sometimes just collecting whiskies that are maybe from the 50s or 60s. Sometimes they have like this very old, like say example, Johnny Walker Red. But some people have like for every decade, for example, just to try them out later on, see what they have changed in them, for example. Even though I never tried, unfortunately, any Johnny Walker, but I think still that's a really cool thing to do, because it'll give you a perspective of what has changed in the bottle. You also have closed distilleries. It's very popular, like Japan and Scotland, America as well. I think the Peppermint Winkle is a closed distillery. I think that is. We have Rosebank, Brora, Port Allen, the Little Mill as well, and you have the Kurosawa distillery. That's just ridiculously overpriced and discontinued bottles. Sometimes it just happens that the bottles we took for granted become discontinued, and I'm going to show you some bottles that are discontinued, and I know that at least one of them is quite collectible. And it also does happen in certain countries as well, like Japan, when their whiskey has high demand and they can't keep up the production due to it. So that's what happens. So, yeah. But I think, you know, another thing as well when it comes to collecting, because it sounds like I'm only talking about the open bottle, but if you saw in the beginning, there was some bottle there that was actually a little bit hidden, but it is more because it is open. This is kind of collectible, because they do release quite a few of these single casks, but still, you can buy bottles, you know, that you will open later on that are collectible, or you can have in your collection unopened, and then you can open them, you know, basically for the years to come, for very special occasions. These are just whiskies, you know, maybe you paid a little extra for them, or it's just a whiskey you want to save, basically, or you know it is discontinued. You can't get it anymore. So yeah,